sources. Likelihood and impact of risks. Likelihood means probability of the problems that are definitely going to be arise in the system. We know that the defect will be there sooner or later. Effect of such problem is very low to the system and can be ignored. So there is small changes. Say for an example, that after entering, after putting the OTP, the user is able to log in. However, there is an issue that the name shown as, say for an example, the name shown in the account as demo, okay, but it should show the user that is logged in the current stage. So instead of that, it's showing a demo. So these are the small effect. Okay, these are the small effect, the small errors, the small defects, small bugs that can be ignored. Okay, what are the impact, adverse effect of the problem that take place on the system? Okay, impact means it is really affecting the software. Okay, and testing causes behavior of the problem. It means what is the behavior of the problem when the behavior when the software try to behave awkward or with defect or gives an error or gives an invalid solution, right? 404 error. So these are the what? These are the impact of the software which is going to affect the user experience. That's why we take them under impact. Okay. So these are the reason that whenever we try to test the software, we always see the testing, how the software should behave, how it is behaving, and when we say that it is wrong, then what's wrong, how it is behaving when it is in defect mode. Correct. So that needs to be extracted, and then we can write the test cases accordingly. Technical people determine likelihood, business people determine impact. Why? Because technical people do have a broader experience, so they could come out with a technical aspect of that software. So say for example, there's an error in the programming or the script or the API, whatever it is. So they do have this kind of experiences of technical background, so they can come out with a technical defect. Business people determine the impact, that if the software is going to behave like that, then what are the impact that is going to be. So first impact will be on the users, second impact will be on the business operation and the commercial transactions. Correct. So these are the things that will be impacted. So we categorize them in the likelihood, that it may impact, it may cause the issue, and impact is what? The critical part or the major part which is actually affecting the entire software or the software operations. Okay, scale to measure the likelihood and impact. So we can categorize them low, medium or high, or 1 to 10 as it is required, right? We can just simply give them this severity, that whether it is in low priority, it is on high, or it is in medium. So accordingly a tester will test it and a developer will also fix it. Correct. On this scale, so basically this is kind of a scale that is used to measure that okay, which particular part needs to be fixed at the very first. Okay, next approaches to tackle risks. First is mitigate. Now what is mitigate? Advanced step in reducing the possibility of impact of this risks. So an experienced tester, if we know that there are certain there are certain defects that is going to arise for sure in the system sooner or later, then we mitigate those things and we try to reduce the impact of those defects in the early stages. So it is kind of a you can say a planning, okay, that it should occur, it may occur. Contingency is what? Planning to reduce the possibility of the risks to become an outcome. It means what? That if this particular defect arises in near future, then how we can reduce it, how we can reduce the effect of that particular error. Say for example, user whenever they visit the website or application, they may not feel that there is an error. So what we do, that before a user enter to the landing page or to the application, we try to fix it in the early stages, mostly in pre-software releases, so that this kind of error are not found while using it in real time. Convincing team user to reduce the probability or accept the impact of the risks. Now accept the impact of the risks means what? When we don't have anything to do, when it is causing due to some other issues and due to the requirement, then we can't do anything, right? So that in that cases we may accept that okay, this is the thing that is done wrongly, or maybe this is the thing which is not impacted due to the coding or requirement or design, but it is due to the issue in your system. Okay, so say for an example, transfer means was convincing team and user to reduce the probability. It means what? We will say to our team that okay, this is something which the client didn't care of. So basically what you do, you continue your testing and you just pass it on. So we don't focus on a particular defect. So this is known as the transfer, that we just get our hands down as a tester, because these things cannot be fixed at that moment, cannot be done, because maybe the entire requirement needs to be changed, or the client who is given the requirement, it is as per the requirement, but this is something which is different from what the client has given.